Yeah, this team's over. This one's old. This one's so low. If I sneeze on that nigga will die. I'm not here. I'm gonna try Resi. Chill. Yeah, I'm chill though. Yeah, I got a raise. That's what I'm saying. Got you, brother. Hey, get out the way, get out the way. I'm gonna try to kill that guy. Wait, back up, the fire. My fault. Shoot, flash off. Nice, another body. At the door, at the window. Back up. I got it. Yeah, he's so low.
Hey, did you see the chocolates that are right here?
They were like Snicker bars.
Yeah.
Mom has them in the room.
Huh? Okay.
Mom has them. There's some racist cups too.
All of them was low. It was just that last guy. I gotta go to shit. Or, what is this? I got clothes for shoes. I got clothes for shoes. Yeah. Oh, wait, I got something for that shit. Bitch. Over. Careful. Back up, back up. Yeah, I got you, I got you. Drag me back, drag me back. Damn, shotgun to my skull.
Yo, that shit had me so fucking tight, yo. Finally, I'm like, yo, they trying to fucking breach system restored, yo. Damn, that's what I'm talking about. Now we can adjust everything on it. I got you. See, I be so fucking easy. Oh, man. Excellent. Now let's test drive it, okay?
Yeah, there's people coming up. Back to show. Oh, just gonna pull it over here. Yeah, watch this. Not sure. Still on the my shot one. You know, right now. Yeah. If you sit down, me and orange will do the same thing. Oh wait, I can do it. Yeah, people are trying to go. Just trying not to fall down here. I have barricades here. So no. That's it. Another team. Yeah. Oh, that's not good. Down below. Down below. Talk to the left side. might be the people over here because they come back around. Pete, I fucking dare you. Pete, I dare you. Do it. Do it. Do it. I'm fucking right here. Behind us, just in case something gets started. Oh shit, deep five. The niggas right here, the niggas are pushing the and the other team's pushing the other team. Hey, nigga, kill these fools. Behind you. One person. One more. Your homeboy, your lower number. Yeah. Hooray. Hey. Go defense, though. Go defense. Y'all niggas good with this for real. Damn, nigga. Move these things. Master. Oh,
Yeah.
Outside. Man, go help Grandpa, please. He's burning the grass. Turn the water on, because it's already something big popped and I heard it. I can't run out there. Turn the water on.
Seven 30. Official test start time 2 minutes.
Sorry, guys, but I told you something else popped.
Salud. May God always protect you, Muslim. God bless you.
I'm in Shanghai, Shenzhen, and here in Hong Kong. Markets are on a holiday across Greater China and Taiwan today. You're watching the China Show. I'm Yvonne Mayo with April Hall. Our top story is oil holding losses as more tankers make their way through the Strait of Hormuz. Korean tech stocks fueling gains in the region, tracking a surge on Wall Street. Bloomberg learns that the U.S. suspects China may have gotten its hands on ASML's top-of-the-line chip-making machinery in violation of export controls. Also ahead, Alibaba chairman Zhou Tsai speaks to Bloomberg about navigating the tech giant's AI investments, which have bloated its balance sheet. And Indonesia's market open is in focus as MSCI issues a new warning on transparency. That's ahead of next week's verdict on a potential downgrade to frontier market status. You know, April, it does feel like a holiday over here in Hong Kong with most markets closed when it comes to Greater China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. And again, there's still plenty to unpack, right? We're still trying to see if we've fully digested the Fed news, obviously, this week. And of course, that 60-day clock has started here when it comes to Iran negotiations and the reopening of Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, and certainly it's going to be a very complex situation. We also have the likes of Bloomberg Economics, of course. They seem to be highlighting the sense that in terms of what's been gained, Iran does look like it has the upper hand. Still, let's take a look at how all this is shaping markets. Given this deal, shipping seems to be returning to the Strait. So we're seeing oil on the back foot. And indeed, this week, we could be headed for those deep weekly losses. And against that backdrop, we've, of course, been seeing maybe a little bit of risk appetite returning. So less of a need for safe havens. But on top of that, with gold on that weekly decline, that's what it's set for. It's also against the backdrop of what's expected to be a slightly more hawkish Federal Reserve. Still, we did see overnight treasuries managing gains, shrugging off those signals from the U.S. Central Bank. We are, of course, tracking bond futures. U.S. markets are shut for Juneteenth. So this is what we are seeing, maybe a slight uptick on the 2-year bond futures when trading resumes. Aside from that, it was stocks, it was bonds overnight that managed to gain in the U.S. and S&P 500 futures are pointing to a slight reversal. But note how it was really the chip makers that powered the way. We had Intel, big gains there after Trump talked about how it will be supplying, designing chips to Apple. And that's really underpinning some of the gains in Asia as well. You look at how the Kospi is faring. Remember when the gold was 5K, we're at 9,300 now. It's really the memory makers that are powering things through, and it's continuing to outpace the gains on some of these other Asia peers, including the Nikkei as well. And all of this is, I guess, sapping some of the demand for Chinese stocks. That's where the cost benefit is, right? Take a look at how the gold in China fared overnight. It's been a week where it's just been on this downward trajectory. We're, of course, watching MSCI China as well on watch for their markets. And against this backdrop, of course, you know how the mainland markets, along with Hong Kong and Taiwan, are shut today. A couple of other things we're watching as well. Take a look at how the dollar is faring. It's holding steady in the Asia session, but it did clock gains overnight. We are seeing dollar yen moving a little off those session highs. We did get comments from the finance chief, Katayama, reiterating bold action if needed against speculative FX moves, but also talking about how they won't rely on debt to fund some of these other things, including on the reduction in food sales taxes. Watching the yuan as well, senators on both sides of the aisle seem to be urging Scott Bessent into taking this up with China, the so-called undervalued renminbi. We're seeing it nudging offshore dollar China towards 677 there, Yvonne.
Yeah, I love the dollar yen's at 160, 161 levels, and they're calling it strength here right now, just given the week that it's really had when it comes to kind of wash, and really how it has, in some ways, brought this new regime when it comes to just FX and bond markets here this week. There's certainly a lot to talk about here and unpack. But let's get to the latest. Well, the Strait has reopened. Concerns do remain still about whether Tehran might eventually charge fees on vessels, and it's something that Vice President J.D. Vance skirted questions about earlier. Take a listen.
Okay, we're good.
But that's not about tolling. That's about ensuring that the straits are never used as a
Is it
choke
better?
point for the
You
global
guys hear me?
economy ever again. It's frankly not what the Iranians
you
want.
something to
It's not what
drink,
the
get you a
Omanis want.
snack.
It's not what the
I have a
GCC
little
wants either.
Reese's cup,
So what
which
we're
I'm
going to do,
gonna
of
start with.
course, working with our allies in the region, is to ensure that that is reflected in the final deal. And if
So
that's
just to
not
give you a
reflected
heads
in the
up,
final deal,
we're
there's
gonna
not going to be a
go
final deal.
through all of the tech news first. Then we're gonna go and we're gonna do crypto because it's a smaller segment. So for technology, we're gonna go back to the 8th of June, and for crypto, we can go back to I think the 11th of December 2025.
But how much smarter can it get?
Goal is to
And
really create
we see
orient
they're gonna
tariff
bombard us
ecosystem
with
around the
commercials.
car. And the mobile
Okay.
private network allows you to do that. Cars
Let me see
connect
if I can
infrastructure, opening up a
manage
wider
this
range
here.
of possibilities.
See if it will allow me to do that.
Let's bring in our senior editor, Derek Walben, joining us from San Francisco with the latest.
There we
Derek,
go.
it was an interesting sort of presser from JD Vance. And let's talk about the Strait of Hormuz, too, on really what reality is going to look like here
I'm gonna
in this waterway once it does
Make it
reopen.
smaller so we can listen in.
Yeah,
You don't
Yvonne,
have
I
to
think
worry
that's
too
one of the
much.
key questions. Look, if you go back to the pre-war baseline, you're talking about international waters where ships sailed through relatively freely. You're talking about one of the world's biggest energy and commercial waterways, right? This is not a small deal, and we've all seen over the course of the last several months what the economic consequences have been for this mostly closure that we've had going on. Now, one of the difficulties with this is that in a plan to bring this back, Iran has really been keyed on the idea that it's going to take a managerial role in some capacity and might be able to seek revenues to keep this, from being shut off in the future. And that could look like a lot of different things. You could call that a toll. You could call that a fee for service. You could call that a tax. You could call that whatever you want to, but it would be a meaningful change. And it would be one that would have a disruptive and inflationary result for the world economy. Now, the U.S. is very keen to avoid having that, but at the same point, we're seeing throughout the U.S. day before Asia woke up, the White House, particularly Vance, particularly Donald Trump, try and defend this deal, as a lot of their allies in the U.S. and Israel have started to suggest that Iran got the upper hand in the first memorandum.
Derek, these 60 days is going to be a period of complex negotiations. What are you watching more specifically that could potentially derail this steady state that we seem to be in now?
Well, April, I think it's a great question. I mean, one of the things that I think is just really challenging to think about is the idea of getting to a deal in this time frame, right? Recall that the Iran nuclear deal under then President Barack Obama took about 2 years to get to, and we're talking about a 2-month period. So there's a major time compression here. There's any number of details that have to be worked out on the technical side. This is really like in the weeds kind of stuff, but it all really matters. And this has been an administration that has really preferred to deal with the top lines, right? And so, what happens at this point? What's the pressure point? There's no indication that anyone wants to go back to bombs and missiles and all of that sort of thing. But this is a part of the world where peace has been fragile, where Iran and Israel have been at odds, both directly as well as in proxy fights for a very long time. Israel and the United States are not presently seeming like they're fully on the same page. Donald Trump is feeling a lot of pressures. He was talking yesterday and then again today about the idea of the relative economic calamities that could have befallen had the Strait of Hormuz not started to reopen up, and that was a particular pressure point. And he's also facing, candidly, political pressure points going up to the November midterm election. So there's a lot of sort of things at play here. And I think one of the concerns that some of the more hawkish, Republican and Israeli, kind of friends of the president have had is that they see a lot of these pressures working against him more than working against Iran right now.
Derek, thank you, Derek Wellbank, our senior editor, talking about what to look out for in the next 60 days or so. Let's talk about what the impact this could have on markets. And obviously, we've been talking about the cool down when it comes to oil prices, where we are now, sub 80 when it comes to Brent. Joining us now from Sydney is Tony Sycamore, market analyst at IG Australia. So, Tony, it seems like the markets at least have in some way priced it in the fact that this war is over. Strait of Hormuz is opening officially today, but certainly, what assumptions are you making about the oil price, and how does that translate to the rest of your market outlook?
Well, it's an interesting question. I mean, the repricing this week has been drastic, and part of that came about because of the resumption of Iranian oil almost instantaneously, and that's taken crude oil down into the low 70s. It has had a minor bounce, and I think what comes next is the execution risk, which Derek touched on. There's a lot of details still to be nutted out. There's still issues with getting Israel on side, and they are continuing their actions in the southern part of Lebanon. So that remains as a major point of contention, as we heard from JD Vance this morning. But overall, I think the repricing is probably quite fair now, but it really turns to what comes next. And the execution risk here does seem quite complex. In terms of what it means for markets, well, overall, I mean, you have seen, obviously, the energy sector and those sorts of types of areas really get hit quite hard on the back of that, particularly in our local market. But against that, you are seeing some relief around the tail risks around a protracted closure of the strait starting to ease. And certainly that's helping some of these cyclical stocks more broadly across many, many regions. But overall, it's a great thing. And we can start to put this conflict behind us, and presuming that energy prices stay subdued, we can start to look at what comes next.
So what comes next for the Fed, Tony? Because they don't seem to have very clearly put behind some of these concerns about price pressures based on what we've heard from them this week.
Yeah, it was an interesting press conference, that's for sure. A lot of conversation or a lot of references to price stability. And it does seem that the new Fed chair is going to try and tread his own path there. And really, first and foremost, it's about restoring credibility around the inflation target, and inflation is just still too hot. So we can see the repricing in the rates markets. It was hawkish this week. It has been hawkish since the end of February. We were pricing in 2 Fed rate cuts at the end of February. We're now pricing in a definite rate hike before year end, and we do have 2 rate hikes priced by March 2027. Now, this is permeating through markets in terms of what we're seeing there, but I really think there is definitely a transition period where we learn more about Kevin Walsh, but the early indications is that he is going to be more hawkish than potentially we saw from Fed Chair Powell. And additionally, we're just not going to get that forward guidance, which we've become used to, and instead there's going to be more onus on markets to respond to the data.
So it seems like we're seeing that being reflected in bond markets, in FX, the lack of forward guidance. Some have told us that will only spur more volatility. How should I express that? I mean, because it seems like equities can still, keep calm and carry on when it comes to the tech side of things, but when it comes to other asset classes, you are continuing to see that repricing. Have we fully absorbed that Fed impact?
Well,
this car is always evolving, but how much smarter can it get?
The goal is to really create all the entire ecosystem around the car.
And the mobile private network allows you to do that. Cars connect to infrastructure, opening up a wider range of possibilities.
A modern soccer stadium has over 700 miles of fiber optic cable, improving every detail of the game experience.
Well, I think when we talk about tech stocks, it has been an absolutely sensational rally. We rallied about 35% if we're just looking at the NASDAQ over 9 weeks. And that rally has certainly put some of these tech stock valuations in the spotlight. And when you go through and look at some of the Mag 7 at this point of time, you can see that we have Amazon and Nvidia. They're about 10%, 12% below their recent lows. Microsoft and Meta aren't that far away from their March lows. So what we're seeing now is some rotation. We're seeing the Intels and the AMDs and what have you leading the charge higher. So certainly there has been a broadening out in that tech space, which isn't a bad thing. But the question is, how much further can the index go without the Mag 7 dragging the index higher. So for me, it does seem like it's probably not a bad time to take stock of the move in tech stocks. And I do think they're due a little bit of a breather. And that, I think, probably comes with, we do have this post-conflict, I guess, uncertainty now. And it is going to be very, very interesting to see how this deal plays out.
What about for markets such as South Korea? Does that similar lens apply, I suppose? I mean, we're seeing on an index level and among the chip makers are doing quite well. But given how valuations still look attractive,
they do, spot on. I mean, we're looking at the US and scratching our head at some of the valuations amongst the leaders there. South Korea certainly doesn't look expensive, and there is still demand now for the key components of that index, Samsung, and that to me still seems like a very good thematic in the weeks and months ahead, because as we said, the valuations on Wall Street for these tech stocks is just so lofty, and the capex expenditure, there's questions around how that's going to be satisfied. But in terms of South Korea, it still looks like a really good avenue of exploring that upside that AI brings to markets.
150. It's not
Tony,
telling me anything.
thank you so much. Tony Sycamore is market analyst at IG Australia. Now, of course, we've also been watching this week China markets, given how MSCI China is into bear market territory or nearing that. Reminder that markets in China, Hong Kong are closed for the Dragon Boat Festival. You're looking at live shots there out of Hong Kong. This is the China Show.
Not showing me anything about the performance. That's okay for right now. At least we have a baseline in here.
All right, so now a Bloomberg scoop that dropped on your terminal just a few minutes ago. The U.S. has told Dutch chip equipment giant ASML that one of its top machines may have found its way to China illegally. Sources tell Bloomberg that Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick outlined the administration's concerns in a series of recent meetings.
Yeah, Min Lo, our China correspondent, is on top of all of this. She joins us now from Shanghai. Min, what have we been hearing from U.S. officials so far?
Yes, this is according to our colleague Mackenzie Hawkins reporting, and it's also based on what sources are telling us anonymously because of the sensitivity of the situation. And we understand that Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has been it had a series of meetings with the top leadership of ASML, and he has been accusing ASML of sending one of its top-of-the-line and ultraviolet lithography machines to China. And according to these officials, well, they have not told us whether they have evidence of that
so we are
system
limited
in China,
by
but they said they have evidence of
only.
components being shipped to China, as well as the equipment used to ship these machines being sent to China. So ASML is now left having to prove a negative, and the officials are saying that ASML is acting in bad faith. It's not clear what they want from ASML, whether they will impose more punitive actions on the company, for example, by restricting all of its access to the Chinese market, and that would threaten the 20% of revenue that ASML gets from China, because even though it can't send the most advanced machines to China, it still sells some of the older lines of DUV machines to China at this point.
The firm will start trading on the stock exchange,
it seems like
which tracks
ASML
the
has
performance
denied
of 500
some of
the
these
biggest
claims here.
publicly
What do we
traded
hear from
United
ASML's
States
response so far?
companies. On June 22nd,
yes, ASML has said that they have not sent any of these EUV machines nor any components or modules or equipment used in those machines to China. And bear in mind, these machines are huge. They're as big as a school bus, so it's not exactly something you can easily hide. And it can't be used without regular maintenance from ASML staff. And according to an internal document, ASML has said that they will be able to automatically detect any abnormal interruption, any loss of connectivity to their machines, and it's not something you can easily just remove and transport without the assistance of the ASML team. So the ASML spokesperson has said that they have refuted such rumors before and founded rumors that have been inaccurate and damaging to their reputation. And they said they do take very seriously this concern around national security. The Netherlands, the government, has also put out a statement saying that they enforce such rules very strictly, and they will intervene if necessary, and they recognize the responsibility that the Netherlands play given its unique role in the semiconductor supply chain. But
The
again,
agreement will also
depending on
launch
how
a
the
new
US,
fiber
how
optic
far the US
technician
administration
training
pushes
program
this, it could
and
potentially
seek to
increase the
strengthen
tension
data
between
center
the
supply
US and the
chains
Netherlands and potentially
amid
with the
efforts to
broader EU
shore
in
up
general. And it
the
really
United
hinges upon
States
whether the US
domestic
is willing
industry.
to provide evidence as
Amazon
well that it
underlined
has of
that
this
its
export
investment
of
in North
ultraviolet machines
Carolina
to China that was
since
in violation
2010
of the US
exceeded
export control
$20
rules.
billion, adding
All
more
right.
than
Again, thank you, our China
26,000
correspondent
jobs
in Low
in
there, joining us out of
logistics,
Shanghai with the
cloud
latest on that scoop.
infrastructure,
Let's get to
and
those live
green
pictures
energy.
out of Beijing here right now,
Corning
right? You wonder why
Incorporated
markets
stands
are
in the
closed? Well,
green.
yeah, we're
The
marking
Green
the Dragon
Ranger,
Boat Festival. These are pictures coming
11.13%,
out from Beijing here this
194.92
morning as,
per
of
share.
course, those Dragon Boat races are
Amazon.com
underway here. Hong
Incorporated
Kong seems
stands
that
in
the
the
weather's
green,
cleared up for our races here this morning
2.90%,
as well. So, yeah, we're
$244.39.
trading markets to boats here this morning,
Google,
maybe some
Nvidia,
dumplings too,
set
as
to
we mark
be
the end of this
reviewing
week. You're watching the
Intel
China Show.
cooperation. Alphabet Incorporated's Google recently ordered more than 3 million Tensor processing units, TPUs, from Intel Corporation for delivery in 2028. The information reported on Monday.
Measured
In the same
generations.
circle, it was alleged that Nvidia
Long-term wealth
Corporation
built by
was
125
considering
years of
ordering
expertise.
Intel's
Brookfield.
advanced
Own
packaging
what's next.
and 18A process. Intel's cutting-edge 1.8 nanometer class semiconductor manufacturing node for its own future semiconductors. After the report, Intel's pre-market share soared
In
by
some corporate news this morning,
11.61%
Amazon says it's in
to
talks to sell its custom-made AI chips
$110.70
for
at
use in other
9:24
companies'
a.m.
data centers,
Pacific
a
time.
key expansion of its efforts to cut into NVIDIA's dominance.
Corning
The
jumps
company's AI
8%
chief, Peter
on
DeSantis, told
Amazon
Bloomberg they've
optical
begun
fiber deal.
discussions but declined to
Corning
name
shares
potential
surged over
customers.
8%
Amazon's AI
on Monday
accelerator Trainium
after
has
Amazon
already
announced
won marquee
a
buyers,
multi-year,
including
multi-billion
OpenAI,
dollar deal
Anthropic,
with
and
the
Uber.
specialty glass maker
Intel shares
to
surged to a
supply
record after
optical
President
fiber
Trump said
cable
the chip
and
maker will work
connectivity
with
solutions
Apple to
for
design and
Amazon's
produce
U.S. data
semiconductors in
centers.
the U.S.
In
Trump's Truth
addition to
Social post did
supporting
not elaborate
hundreds
further
of
on the
extra
tie-up.
construction
Intel
jobs
struck an
to expand
unconventional deal
Corning's
with Trump last
facilities
year
in
that
North
turned the U.S.
Carolina.
government into one of
The
its
agreement will
biggest
generate
investors.
1,000 new
Bloomberg learned that
manufacturing
bankers for
employment
SpaceX are preparing to hold
jobs
calls with
at the
investors to
company's
discuss a
North
potential
Carolina
bond
plants.
offering of at least
Under the
$20
deal,
billion.
the companies
Now,
will
sources
work
say those
together
calls could
on a
begin as
new
soon as
initiative
Monday.
that
Elon
will
Musk's
expand
rocket,
Corning's
satellite, and
fiber
AI
optic
conglomerate
technician
has received
training
ratings in
program
triple B tier
with the
from all
Capitol
three major
Valley
bond graders,
Community
paving
College
the way for
in
cheaper
North
borrowing
Carolina
after its
to
record
train students for
IPO.
roles in the
And
facilities.
for video
At
gamers alike, or
10:39
video game
a.m.
makers
Eastern
and
Time,
fans alike, it's a
Corning
day for
shares
you, I hear.
expanded
Take-Two Interactive closed higher
8.15%
after
to
announcing
sell for
pre-orders for Grand Theft Auto 6
$192.06
will
apiece.
open next Thursday. The game has been delayed at
The
least
United
twice
States
by
designates
Take-Two's
entities
Rockstar Games
as
unit, which is now
Chinese
targeting a
military
November
firms.
launch.
The
Piper
United
Sandler
States
said this
Defense
week it sees
Department
pre-order
released a
sales of
list of
46
firms
million
set to be
units, one of the
designated
most
as
anticipated
Chinese
games
military
of
companies,
all
according
time.
to a
Yeah,
notice
the
on
gamers are
the
happy. I guess.
Federal Register on Monday.
That's what I hear. Yeah, there's
When
only
the United
watching that
States
potential
government
release,
finds
right?
that a
Pre-orders
business
underway
is either
soon.
directly
We're
or
also watching some of
indirectly
these other movers
associated
in the
with
region.
the
I mean, a lot of
People's
these markets are
Liberation
shut,
Army
but
or
take a look
advances
at some
China's
of the
military
outliers. I mean,
capabilities,
energy
it
is on one
designates
side of
it
the equation
as
today,
a
as it has
Chinese
been
military
for this
company.
week. Australia's benchmark has
Companies
been
on
sort
the
of
list
under
may be
pressure given
subject
the
to
slide
additional
into these
restrictions,
chips
such as
or
limits
energy
on
related stocks, I
government
should
procurement
say. And if you
and
take a
United
look
States
at what is on the
investment.
other side of things,
The
given
list
this
included
Iran peace deal,
Alibaba,
we're seeing the
BYD,
Asian carriers that
CATL,
are maybe breathing a bit of
Huawei
sigh of
Holding,
relief. They have been dogged
SMIC,
by these concerns
Tencent,
about
and
jet
more.
fuel shortages. We heard from the
Apple,
Qantas
iOS
chief just a day
27
ago.
to
She's been
extend
talking
to
about the expectation
the
of
iPhone
good
11.
fuel supply
Apple
to Australia. And
Incorporated
once again, we
announced
can
on
just take a
Monday
look at how these
that its
Asian
new
carriers are
operating
faring
system,
in market trade
iOS
today.
27,
I think
will
we
be
are seeing
available
some
on all
reprieve for the
iPhones
Asian
released
airlines,
since
including Qantas.
iPhone
There you
11.
go with a percent higher.
During
And
the
then, of
Worldwide
course,
Developers
chips, that's the one that's
Conference,
been leading the charge. The tech
WWDC
rally is well
2026,
underway. We
Apple
are
stressed
seeing
its
SK
focus
Hynix,
on
of course,
upgrading
after
the
yesterday saying
capabilities
that
of
it's
its well-known
shipping
platforms and features,
some of these samples
rather
of
than
DRAMs for the next
introducing new
generation shifts, that
Those
is the
improvements
stock
include
that is almost
enhancements to
8%
its liquid
higher.
glass
You're watching the China
and
Show. A reminder
upgrades
that the Greater China market
to
was
the
shut from the
speed
Dragon
at
Boat
which
Festival.
applications
This is
start,
Bloomberg.
photographs open, and files transfer. Furthermore, in the first moments of the event, Apple unveiled an upgraded account for kids titled Simply Children Account, which includes numerous features focused on safety, screen time, and displaying age-appropriate content.
Well, let's talk about Alibaba. The group chairman Joe Tsai says AI will create a $50 trillion economy. The company has the will to shift its capital expenditure plans accordingly. He spoke exclusively to us at the Viva Tech Bloomberg Awards in Paris, recognizing the company's founders and leaders shaping the future of technology.
During the Worldwide Developers Conference, WWDC,
we always say when the world changes, you have to change. You have to change yourself. And we saw this coming. Especially with we're in the era of transformer models and generative AI, and we felt that this was definitely the direction.